It's really exciting to be back home. I wouldn't trade in my 2 years in New York for anything. I think they've done a lot for me there too, but I'm just excited to have a new opportunity and a new space and see what I can do for Toronto.
How soon did you start hearing the talk that this could be happening? But like we
Um,
all learned about it draft night,
yeah.
obviously. But I'm guessing you knew a little early.
No, I was kind of on the same boat as you guys. I think a lot of these things like are kind of maybe last minute decisions. I got a few phone calls, one from Pascal himself, and then one from Gina, just kind of giving me a little bit of a heads up. So I'm thankful that they both reached out and made the effort to kind of be in contact with me and let me know what was going to happen. So that the first time I didn't hear it was over the TV as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, really, really excited about it and just really grateful.
Were you watching the draft and did you hear the when the who was it? Oh, it was Cassie comes up.
Yeah, it was funny because on the TV, I think she has a little bit of a pause, and she's like, "Oh, good reaction, guys." And I was like, "Ooh, what was that?" And then it turned out to be something pretty crazy. So
That's wild.
yeah,
So obviously the league itself is going through a pretty big change with expansion. So a lot of players are changing, teams and locations. But this is kind of a different feeling of a veteran player and a real. You're going to step right in and have a big role. Does all that change around the league affect how big this change is for you or how it feels?
great question. I think seeing a big change in our league in general, it's awesome to see that we're expanding and getting to more cities. I think it'd be awesome to see us do it again and continue to grow this game because that's the whole point, right? We're doing this for not just the 6 cities that we originally had, but hopefully we can connect with multiple girls cities and multiple cities that want to have a team. I think coming here, I think big changes. It's at the end of the day, it's also a business, and New York, they wanted some changes. They wanted to make some, and if this was the right change for them, I'm happy that they keep me in consideration. But to be in Toronto again, I'm excited to be close to home. My support system's like only an hour and a half down the street, so I think that's a nice change for me too. So I'm just excited to be a part of it.
What's it like looking down and seeing that logo now?
Yeah, it's different because I feel like I'm so used to seeing teal and white, but this blue, hopefully royal blue, looks good on me too. But it's really exciting. I think every time, like I said, I come to Toronto and it's so fun to see a familiar face up in the stands, and now I get to do that on a consistent basis, and I'm really excited about this locker room too, like being really familiar with a lot of the players and the staff itself, so it feels very homey.
I know that.
Sorry, go ahead.
Just quickly about Renata Fast.
Mhm.
I watched an interview you did over at the Worlds in Czech when you were walking and talking there,
Mhm.
and you'd mentioned like one of the players that you're always excited when you get to play with the Canadian team is Renata, and just watch her. And
Yes.
obviously, so the question is just now getting to play with her more regularly.
Yeah.
What's that going to do for you? And
Yeah.
what do you like about her game?
Yeah, I can't say enough good things about Renata Fast. I think she's one that kind of took me under her wing when I graduated from college, and she was one I could reach out to and ask any question, and I didn't feel out of place asking that. And then just seeing her work ethic over the past couple years has been tremendous and very motivational for myself as well. I trained with her a little bit at McMaster when I first graduated, so that part was really exciting. And her game, it's so fast and so physical, and I think she has such a huge impact on the ice, and she's got a huge impact in the locker room as well. So I'd love to try and mimic my game a lot out of what she does and try things that she's doing. I mean, they don't call her fast for nothing. She lives up to her name, and she does amazing good things, and huge congratulations to her for winning the Defender of the Year. I think she deserves that, and you can see how exponentially her game has grown over the past couple years.
Are you going to train in Burlington with that group, do you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna train out of London a little bit too, and then I'll meet up with the Burlington group at McMaster hopefully. A few times.
How much do you look back to that first goal with fond memories about how you did on that first day of the
Yeah, it's funny when I first walked in here and had a tour. That's the photo they got in the lounge over there, and I was like, oh wow, that's just crazy to think that happened 2 years ago. And yeah, it's still one of my top 10 moments in my life for sure. I think that was such a monumental moment, not only for women's hockey, but for myself. And to be able to go back to that and share that with my family, because it was here in Toronto and my support system again was here celebrating with me. It wasn't just something that I did myself. It was to all the people that have been behind me, pushing me along throughout my career, and for women's hockey in general. I mean, it was a huge moment. So yeah, it's pretty crazy to be back in the city where it all happened.
I was going to say, you talked about being excited to come back to the city that is close to home, but
Yeah.
also your family must be very excited about it.
Yeah, they're very excited about it. I think my brother works here in Toronto, like lots of friends here, so I've gotten a lot of love from my local surrounding area, so very excited.
Does this mean you're going to have to get pulled onto the farm a bit more?
Yeah,
or?
probably. My dad will be like, oh, you're
Off
just down
days.
the street now, you can just come join on the farm. So I love going back home and being on the farm too, so it'll be nice to be able just to pop down the street and go and help drive a tractor if they need, or maybe I'll just drive a tractor for fun. So
You
maybe
drive-
I'll show up
That's
one
not-
day with a tractor to the arena.
That's not
Yeah.
a small thing either. Like we're laughing about that, but you know, I think New York, New Jersey might have been challenging, and this might just feel like, ooh, this. You know, you're gonna have some comfort here, and I assume your folks, or maybe a couple of your brothers, might be at
For sure.
all or most of the games, and just kind of have your feet planted here. Like, can you just talk about as a person and how's your life journey?
Yeah.
How good that might feel.
Yeah, I think it's always nice to come home. I'm sure everybody can say it's nice to be in an area where you know a lot of people, but being in New York, even though I was far away from my family, it's what you make of it. And being with my teammates, some of those girls are my closest friends, and seeing them go off into different teams too is really sad. And I know there's still going to be the girls there that I'm going to miss too. And it's all about making the most of it with those people. I think you see them every day, you practice with them, you train with them, and you know we're so much more than just that hockey player. There's that human aspect. So being able to go to dinner with them or ask them about their family, and then when their families come in, it's just like we all go gather with their families. So it's whatever you make of it. And I think lots of families do want to come and make an effort to see their daughter play in their centers. So I was fortunate enough that my family came multiple times to New York to hang out, and they would just stay in my apartment. And as much as it's a small little apartment, but I'm happy to have my parents
And
and
the
share a
dog.
space. Yeah.
Dogs too.
Yeah.
How do you reflect on those past 2 seasons with New York?
Yeah, I think I had a lot of development there. I think when I think being there, played a big role. I think they expected a lot from me, and now I kind of have that expectation for myself coming here. I think knowing that Troy and Gina have that belief in me, and I think they're going to put me in a position that's going to make me successful and ultimately make this team successful.
All the women who were drafted this past week were talking about how their phones blew up. I'm just wondering what your phone did. That night.
Yeah, my phone went pretty crazy, that's for sure. I think right away, even my agent texted me, and she happened to catch a lot of the Toronto girls' faces, and they all seemed pretty excited, and everybody just like instantly, once it happens, like goes like this to their phone. So I got a lot of good messages. A lot of New York fans are sad, but a lot of Toronto fans are pretty excited about me being here.
You mentioned your development in New York, and specifically looking at the offensive side of the game. Like,
Yeah.
you lead all defenders over the 2 years in goals and points. How has that side of your game grown since your college days?
Yeah, I think when I think of my college days, I was a very defensive defenseman. I still produced, but I think that Clarkson's biggest thing was playing defense and being really solid in that, because once you have that, it's so easy to go play in the offensive zone. So I think knowing now that I have that solidified and being able to still work on it, it's something in my offensive game that I really want to continue to grow. People love to see goals being scored. People love to see creative things being done. So I think for me, being able to continue to find different ways to help produce would be awesome, especially in the offensive zone. And, using my strengths, I think some of my strengths are my speed, my feet, and my size. So doing that all while on the blue line can sometimes be a challenge, but I'm up for the challenge.
So same path as Renata.
Yeah, I guess she's kind of my biggest model that I can give you to. So yeah, that's for sure. It's someone I look up to a lot.
Quick question about the injury from last season, because you missed several games at the start. I think it was a knee.
Yeah, my knees.
And is that all good? Are you gonna do a little extra work on that to
Yeah.
make sure it's good for that?
Yeah, unfortunately, it took me out for a couple games. I think it was out 6 games total. Both knees were injured, but coming back, I think I came back pretty quickly, quicker than expected. So that's just, I think, a testament to not only the trainers in this league or the trainers at New York, but myself too. What that dedication and being in the gym, doing my exercises, making sure I get a good warm up, and doing what I need to do to make sure I'm ready to play a game.
Are
So
you allowed to say, was it MCL?
yeah, I had
tears or
tears in my MCLs. Yeah.
both of them?
Yeah. One, and then came back and then re-injured the other leg. So
In rehabbing the one.
yeah.
Oh gee.
Or no, it was like just a freak. Like a lot of these things are just kind of like freak accidents. Like you end up watching it, and sometimes you think a big injury would come from a hip, but you see like a little like tweak, and you're like, then the person might. I mean, it happens in the NHL all the time too, in all sports, right? So
You
those
go
tend
off
to
the
be the
ice and
reasons. Yeah, you
something's
can
wrong.
feel it right away once you're.
Had you ever had injury
Nope,
like that
that's my
before?
first real injury, so that was a learning curve for sure.
And having played this Sceptres team over the past 2 seasons,
Yeah.
what is the most exciting element of coming to this team,
Yeah.
not having to face them anymore?
Yeah, I mean, when I think of playing against these guys like to grind. They love to get into the corners and battle hard. You're never in a corner and things aren't like tough. So that playing into my game too, I think it'd be really exciting to now be on the opposite end, like just giving it hopefully and not receiving it all the time. So I'm really excited about bringing that part.